Hi, my name is Jake Fasnacht and I'm the Health Promotion Coordinator for Rose Bay High School. Today I will be presenting a health program on the effects of smoking and how it interrelates with the key goals and values of Rose Bay High. This program will focus on encompassing a whole school approach to the issue. Rose Bay High offers a broad curriculum and a range of opportunities for all students to achieve excellence in academic, creative, social, cultural, sporting and community events. Rose Bay knows that the individual well-being of their students is paramount to successful outcomes, and we aim to always provide a school environment that allows every student to thrive as they work towards achieving their personal best performance. Smoking can be detrimental to these aims in many different ways. Throughout my time on placement and as a teacher at Rose Bay, I have communicated extensively with staff from every sector in the school. Throughout these communications, I have exchanged observations on smoking. The overwhelming trend noticed by staff is that the prevalence of tobacco use is increasing at Rose Bay. Whether it be students ditching class to smoke, arriving at class smelling of smoke, or having possessions of cigarettes at school, it is clear that the current rules and regulations are not working. Thus, a different approach must be tried. Smoking has been linked to inhibiting learning and retention. In 2014, the Australian secondary school students' use of tobacco found a large jump in smoking rates as students reached the later years of secondary school. In 2014, only 3% of 12 to 15-year-olds were current smokers, with the breakdown of that stat being males at 2.8% and females at 3.2%. In the 16 to 17-year-old category, a large increase occurs. 10.3% of current smokers, with the breakdown being 11.6% of males and 8.9% of females. These figures clearly show that there is an alarming trend of young people taking up smoking. Studies have shown that the home environment and school life heavily influence adolescent smoking rates. It is critical that Rose Bay make effort in both social reinforcement and effective education around tobacco use. Doing this will allow Rose Bay to establish related norms and execute preventative education in peer groups throughout the school. If these efforts are spread throughout society in cooperation with homes and communities, they will be helpful to protect adolescents' health and improve their quality of life, as well as lead to more success in school endeavours. Many Australian adults who smoke began smoking use as teenagers. This fact alone proves that it is critical to prevent tobacco use among young people in order to bring an end to the tobacco epidemic. Staff at Rose Bay have noticed a clear rise in tobacco use in the school community over the last 2 years. However, this does not align with studies around teen smoking rates. These studies show that the prevalence of smoking amongst teenagers is at its lowest since these studies began several decades ago. These studies are also indicating that teens are less likely to start smoking in their early teens than they were before. It is important to note that despite the overall downward trend, these studies have shown that smoking rates among secondary school students have fluctuated over time. What we are experiencing at Rose Bay has happened in other places before. We must strive to restore the downward trend of smoking amongst young people in Australia in our own school community. My smoke-free promotion strategy for Rose Bay High will be done in accordance with the Health Promotion Schools framework. This framework aims to engage schools, officials, teachers, students, parents and health providers in an overall aim to improve the quality of life. It is critical that the curriculum, teaching and learning is addressed before the implementation of the program. Smokescreen is a smoking prevention resource developed by the New South Wales Department of Education and Training. Smokescreen can be integrated not only in health classes but across the entire curriculum as it interrelates with many different key learning areas such as English and mathematics. Smokescreen is a free resource that easily molds into the budget and time scheduling of Rose Bay High. Smokescreen provides professional learning opportunities, gathers the input of students, makes excellent use of peer role models, and gives students a chance to display their work. It does this by utilising 3 key themes throughout the resource. Number 1, physical consequences of smoking. Number 2, attitudes to smoking. And number 3, advocating against smoking. Smokescreen has 2 clear-cut stages. Stage 3 is designed for years 5 to 6 and Stage 4 is designed for years 7 to 8. While Stage 3 will not be implemented at Rose Bay High, it will be implemented in our main feeder schools such as Lindisfarne North and Moraine Primary School. Stage 4 will be implemented at Bay High for our Year 8 and Year 7 cohorts. Implementing a program such as smokescreen at an early age is aimed to reduce the temptation of students experimenting with tobacco. Late primary school and early high school are the years in which a student is most likely to be exposed to or offered tobacco. Several researchers have studied the effects of anti-smoking programs on 5th and 6th grade students. One such researcher was a professor from Holland called M. Krohn, who, along with his colleagues, found that while treatments were ineffective, programs had significant effects on behavioural determinants as students entered secondary school. Krohn found that those in the intervention group of his study had a far higher intention not to smoke. The younger a student is when they begin experimenting, the more likely they are to become a regular smoker later on in life. This proves it is crucial to implement interventions early on. In order for smokescreen to be truly effective at Rose Bay High, I will aim to implement it across all learning sectors. An effective way to do this is the cross-curricular approach. This approach is an effective and efficient health promotion strategy that ensures health messages are equally distributed and balanced across all learning areas. I will assist this by sharing my topic planning with all staff members at Rose Bay High. I encourage other staff members to be open-minded in this process, as together I truly believe we can achieve great things with smokescreen. For example, students will utilise ICT to create posters or short films on smoking. In drama, students can role-play peer pressure scenarios they will likely face later on in life. Incorporating interactive practices such as these is an effective and important way to reduce and prevent students from smoking. The culture of a school plays a large part of promotion of health and well-being. The school as a whole needs to have a firm anti-smoking stance that informs our students of the dangers of tobacco. As with most organisations and workplaces, support from the leadership and management is critical if real change is to occur. With the support of Rose Bay's leaders, we will be able to build a positive, all-round healthy culture that will stem into all learning areas. It is important that as we develop Rose Bay into the environment we want it to become, that we listen to feedback from parents, students and teachers alike, and then mould our practices accordingly to that feedback. Inclusive posters and displays around the school will help build momentum. I plan on launching a Rose Bay Health Awareness and Education Week. This week-long program will celebrate diversity and be largely run by leaders in Rose Bay's own student body. This program will be school-wide and aims to take advantage of the range of excellent facilities our school has to offer. Inside the three key themes of smokescreen, a number of different elements are covered. One of these is parental involvement. Smokescreen provides family activity sheets that can be distributed for students to take home. There is at least one family activity sheet for each of the three key themes. These activities have been translated into 20 different languages. Rose Bay is a multicultural school, so these family activity sheets will serve as a great way to begin involving the wider school community in the smokescreen program at Rose Bay High. Smokescreen recognises that many families may have come from areas where these types of anti-smoking programs are virtually non-existent. Smokescreen realises that high tension may occur in some families and believes it will be counterproductive. To combat this, Smokescreen has provided teachers with resources that help teachers convey the message to students that they must be sensitive and respectful in their discussions with family and friends. In order to ensure all staff members are appropriately equipped to implement the Smokescreen resource, I will be holding a number of professional development days open to all staff before the program begins. Several of these sessions will involve special guest presenters from organisations such as the Cancer Council. These professional development days will cover the research of behaviour outcomes, evidence-based components and interactive modelling. There will also be several sessions offered to the parents and guardians of the Rose Bay community. These sessions will also include staff so as to help build connections with members of our community. Thank you all for listening to my presentation. Hopefully this has given you some sort of inspiration that that will help you endeavour to make Rose Bay a health promoting school.